Right, next day we are having a bit of a problem this morning because I managed to shut the bonnet with the bonnet release disconnected, so I had to go underneath the car. I've actually taken out the locks now so that it won't lock again. Muppet moment, there you go. Tiredness of last night, but because the vehicle's outside I had to shut it, really, the bonnet, to keep it. I should have just put it on the latch rather than trying to shut it. Anyway, I fished out the cable from, I got underneath the vehicle, fished out the bonnet release and pulled it from underneath. So there's a top tip. Been looking at forums or searching for stuff. The suggestion is that you can get this out by removing something to do with the radiator cowling. So I'm going to have a little look at that, take the radiator out I think, and see what extra space there might be in there with that. It's not a massive amount of room required. I just don't really want to get unbolting and taking bumpers and everything off. Yes, I know I might have to, but I guess I'm just trying to be lazy and get it done quickly. So excuse me for my incompetence. But there we go. So I'm going to see if I can just... I've got this reservoir here, so I've moved that out of the way. Might just disconnect this little return hose, pop this a bit more safely out the way over there, and then we are kind of hopefully in a slightly more position to look at the radiator, see whether with that out there's just a bit more wiggle room. It does intrude into here, so we'll see. You'll soon find out because I will report back. Okay, maybe with a slightly better camera. So the radiator is fixed with a screw at the top and the bottom. Very simple. Once it's out, you turn it slightly left out of its little hooks, like that, not depending on which way around you're standing, then it just eases out. So the radiator is over here, or the radiator fan rather, get the right terminology. So that's that. And I said that I had moved this out of the way, so that's out of the way, clamped the little pipe, and then the wiring for the lambda sensors is off its bracket and over there, so that's out of the way. Now, there's obviously more room now, so we'll see what we can get away with. The pipe at the bottom, sort of, they're just sort of hanging off these sort of mounting bits, so you can move those around a bit. So that's good. You've got a bit of movement going on there. I mean, a lot of this stuff is annoying because it's not like it should be, but I guess we can clip these things back on when we get back to it. So annoyingly, that's there. So just, I think, tidy up as you go along, putting things back together. Radiator is actually very easy to take out, so that's a good thing. So that was the advice that I found, someone saying to take the radiator out and then you can get catalytic converter out. I put it back on with 4 nuts because I had to get the lower oxygen sensor off, which was basically not very good, as in it was sort of threaded in. So we've got that off. So let's have a little think. Probably go from here and see what we can achieve. Shield, get that out, and then let's just drop down. So literally there's enough room down here for it to drop down to the side, and yeah, it's going to just drop out now. So I've got the catalytic converter out, not by removing all the front end, but by taking out the radiator. There you go. Hopefully that is a good enough top tip. I don't know how you can tell whether it's dead or not. How do you know? How do I even know if that's what's causing it? Okay, I don't know if this is a better angle. I'm going to try it. It's a bit awkward, like I said, to film a mini. So we've got to get our... This is the gasket, which is going to remain. We've got to get our catalytic converter up from underneath with the heat shield kind of with it. So we can then move on from here. Noticed under here as well that the aircon pipe is damaged, so that was probably explain what's happened to the aircon. That's not my concern today, and would be another job altogether. Looks like there's something that sits on it that should have been in a certain position and slipped down, and is not protecting it from the actual plastic part of the radiator cowl. Diversions aside. So I've got the catalytic converter. I'll take a picture of what it's from. It's from eBay. It was £99. You know, it's cheapest I could find. But they are sold in motor factors, so it's not a sort of illegitimate thing. And we shall see. I think part of the problem with this car is I just don't know what 100% is wrong with it. But on failing emissions, we've got various things that we've found, haven't we? So, and again, it's a philosophical debate as to what really we kind of want to do to this car. But it's kind of the idea is to buy my daughter a bit of time to get to decide what she wants to do and get another vehicle. She has this next year. I think I'll scream. So I'm not going to put any oxygen sensors in until obviously we put it in. I'm just going to see if I can get the shroud on it, and then I'm going to pass it underneath, get a bit more cardboard, protect the floor. Right, roll up the catalytic converter and me. Right, just to explain, this was a bit of a pain because the pipe on this comes out at a different angle on the other one. It's a bit further. Slightly annoying, but there you go. Such is life. I'm kind of hoping that it all fits back together properly. But so I unclipped the top of the radiator, and it's just got two little clip here, plastic bits, and I've wedged a screwdriver in. So you're bringing it up. The oil filter housing's got a knobbly bit on it that blocks in the way. Now I brought it up without the heat shield on. Maybe that was a mistake, but I'm going to see if I can get the heat shield on it now. I don't think I would have got it in with the heat shield on. So it's now on the studs. So fingers crossed when the heat shield comes up, it's going to fit. So it's just worrying me just because of the slightly different shape, but there you go. It says it's for a mini, fits the holes, it lines up with the bottom. Just it has got a different output sort of shape for the header pipes. There you go. Lots of manipulating, wiggling around, in and out, and finally the heat shield is back in. And then we just got to start the process of kind of reassembling, make sure that we can actually get everything into a suitable position. So it's all put back together. I'm sure we'll get there. It's going to take a bit of effort, I think, but we will get there. The problem with this thing is that it is a little bit bent out of shape just from probably being taken in and out a few times, but slipping down again. But once it's in, it doesn't disappear, so it's gone past everything. Yeah, so okay. So I think we're going to start the reassembly now. I'll start with everything kind of not too tight. but we're just going to make sure we can get to all these nuts and bolts. I said it's interesting they changed the header design. Probably slightly, I don't know, is it more annoying, less annoying? Slightly different. I think if we can get some of these nuts on and kind of just securing things so they're not sliding around anymore, makes our lives a little bit easier, and hopefully start to progress towards getting this car back together, back into a good roadworthy condition. That's the whole point of it. Without trying to drop too many things. So where's the hardest part of putting anything back together, isn't it? Is the manipulating things back into position. Obviously with the radiator you've got to be a bit careful you're not damaging the fins, but it's kind of made a little bit of a dent down there, but nothing kind of that's damage, just a little bit of a crushed fin. Unless you're going to get terribly worked up about it. I think the only way to probably do this really easily is, like they do say, is to pull everything apart, but like I said, you're on the mission of not doing that currently. Right, getting slightly defeated by the weather now, but I have put back the catalytic converter and all the screws and everything. It's clamped up underneath. We have the radiator fan back in. This coolant bottle is repositioned. I've put back this front panel bit that's come off, headlights back, and we are kind of not far off now. I've just cable tied this on because it's getting a bit worn out from being taken on and off. I've got to push that back in. Not major. I've put the grill back on. So that is about 90% of the job. I've just got to connect up the O2 sensors and things. The one that I've got that's a replacement for the lower one is got a very long lead on it, but it won't hurt, but slightly annoying. And then start to I've got to put the stuff back down here. So I have to give up. This is my weekend, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's taken me to get this far, and I still haven't finished, but we are getting there. New cat in, so fingers crossed we're getting to the point where the vehicle can go back for its for another MOT, and hopefully we've fixed the outstanding emissions issues. But I will update later when I have another bit more video to add.